Today we're going to hear testimony from Dr. Raj Shah, who is the administrator of the United States Agency for International Development on the agency's fiscal year 2012 budget request. Most of us know Dr. Shah well, and I welcome him for being here. You know, about 15 months ago, as administrator, he took charge of an agency that struggled for many years with serious management and programmatic weaknesses. I told him at the time, could offer him congratulations or condolences, but I was delighted he was coming in there. When he first testified here last April, I said that too often the subcommittee and others had encountered at USAID instances of arrogance and detachment from the impoverished reality of the people in countries where USAID operates. And we had encountered in the past, and I'm saying this in the past, poorly designed projects, mega contracts that were touted as success stories, but which enriched the contractors more than they helped the intended beneficiaries, and taxpayer money was wasted. If you want to change the bureaucracy in any bureaucracy, to change the culture, it takes time. USAID is no exception. I continue to believe strongly that it needs to become a more efficient, accessible, flexible, less risk-averse agency, wards creativity, focuses on building the capacity of people in countries and governments in countries where the United States has interests. Of course, that's just about everywhere in the world. But I have seen steady and significant process under Administrator Shah, and I compliment you for that. I have mentioned out back, and we're talking, I've read your speeches. You've not whitewashed where problems are. You've talked about them, you've addressed them directly, and I think that's why we see the successes. And I believe that for as long as I've been either chairman or ranking member of the subcommittee, and I have said that, contrary to what some say, USAID has an essential role to play in projecting U.S. global leadership and helping to protect U.S. interests around the world. I hear that from people in business. I hear that from our military. I hear it from everybody of your essential interests. And anyone who doubts that has not seen what I've seen, whether it's when President George H.W. Bush asked me to go to Vietnam and see whether we could use the Leahy War Victims Fund through USAID there, or to the West Bank, or to Afghanistan, to so many other places. There are countless examples where USAID has had a profound positive impact in ways that directly advance U.S. interests. Recently, I was in Haiti. That country is going to face daunting challenges for years to come. No one can dispute that USAID is helping save lives and helping the people of the country to recover. And no one should doubt the fact that when this is right in our own hemisphere, if we weren't helping, you can imagine the reaction around the world. Say nothing about the members of the Haitian diaspora, and in fact, that live right here in the United States. So it's not a question of whether your mission is integral to our national security. Everyone from President Reagan to General Petraeus has recognized that it is. But I want to know, Doctor, how you're making the changes to ensure that USAID carries out that mission the most cost-effective way. Senator Graham's staff, my staff, and their counterparts on the House have been working extraordinarily hard to try to, one, stay within our budget constraints, but also make sure we spend the money wisely. More than half of fiscal year 2011 is passed. We're only now finalizing the budgets, which was going to require USAID, like other agencies, scale back. The President has requested significant increases in funding for USAID in fiscal year 2012 because of our security interests around the world. I believe much of what he requests is justified. I believe it is in our national security interest to do more to help build stable democracies and vibrant economies around the world. We don't end up in many wars with stable democracies. As I mentioned, people are somewhat misinformed about what foreign aid is. They think it's a recent national poll said that it feels between 20 and 40% of our budget. Of course, it's less than 1% of our budget, and they assume that it's a charity and a giveaway, but USAID spent $1.6 billion on goods manufactured in the United States, 100 times more than it's spent on goods manufactured outside the U.S. That's why everybody, leaders, presidents, Republicans and Democrats, and our military leaders have supported it. But there is going to be, there will be cutbacks, I assume. There will be programs eliminated. What are some of the, give me a couple good reasons to support foreign aid. Give me some idea of what you think may be cut.
Well, I appreciate the comment and the question. I believe our performance in places like Afghanistan and Pakistan are central to our national security priorities. We have, over the last 15 months, dramatically increased our oversight capabilities and operational presence in those places, consistent with an integrated civilian military plan that we are enacting with General Petraeus in Afghanistan and with our colleagues in Pakistan. We have pursued, I think, to great effect, a strategy and an approach in southern Sudan that enabled our diplomatic efforts to be successful by supporting a successfully conducted referendum. We now keep our fingers crossed and continue to work in partnership to ensure an effective and nonviolent resolution to that process in that part of the world. And I think in Haiti, we're making real progress in certain areas. I'm proud of our efforts in mobile banking that I think are going to develop an innovative and important mechanism for banking and financial transactions based on mobile phones that will reach many, many more Haitians than the older systems that were more traditional. We've seen our efforts to get clean water to people and to build basic systems that do that, generate real results, and help prevent the further spread of critical diseases like cholera. And we know we're making progress on efforts like the industrial park in the north that will create 20,000 jobs and basis for improved housing and economic opportunity. In all of these settings, our work contributes and is a critical part of our national security. And it is how we project our values abroad. It is enabling our economy to be more vibrant and dynamic, and it's helping to create jobs at home.
I am at virtually the end of being willing to support activities in Afghanistan when we're not getting the support we should from the Afghan government. I look what's happening in Pakistan. They tell the CIA yesterday, don't go and attack those people who are out there killing you, or we'll just make sure that we allow people to kill those who are bringing oil to your soldiers who are risking their lives. That will just kill the truck drivers, as they have several times. I mean, I just, my frustration level was very, very high, and that's a New England understatement.